Hello, hello, hey there, and welcome into my kitchen. I'm at my kitchen table. I'm Josh Ellis, the editor in chief of Success Magazine, and this is Hustle from Home.
Hi, and I'm Amy Anderson. I'm the founder of Anderson Content Consulting and the columnist, the side hustler at Success Magazine. I'm so excited to have you guys in my house as well. Josh, great to see you at home.
It's great to be here. It's great to be podcasting again. Success hasn't had a new podcast in over 2 years. You guys may remember Success Talks and Success Insider, which I was proud to be a part of. In fact, Amy, you were a pretty frequent guest on Success Insider, if I recall.
Yes, I had the privilege of being on that lovely podcast and really enjoyed it. You guys did some amazing content on that show. Actually, I really liked it.
Well, them's the old days, and we're thinking about the future now. We Hustle from Home. The podcast that we're doing now is very of the moment, but it's very of the future too, because we're recording this in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. And no matter when you hear this, I imagine you'll remember exactly what that was like and just what how scary it was to be either working from home or maybe to even lose a job and wonder what your future would hold, and really to just want um, some chance of to take control of your own future. Don't you think that's what a lot of people are going through, Amy?
Absolutely. And I think that there's a lot of people who are feeling some fear, people who are feeling maybe some shock at everything that's happening, and they're finding themselves in situations they did not expect to find themselves in this year. You know, we were all thinking we were headed towards a really prosperous 2020, and here we are with some really unexpected challenges. And I think at the same time, there are some people maybe who are thinking, you know what, maybe this is the chance I've been waiting for. Sometimes it takes a little nudge from outside forces to take that leap that you've been wanting to take. So it's two sides of the same coin, right? There's some fear and there's some opportunity.
Yeah, we always try to find the bright side of things here at Success, and I think it's fundamentally a factor of personal development that your attitude, the way you look at things, really is going to have a big determining factor on your outcome. So that's the context that we're recording in. But I think our hope, Amy, is that this podcast is going to serve people for years and years to come, whenever they may find it, and we'll release a few episodes at first, and who knows, maybe down the line we'll have some more episodes. But the idea is that this is going to serve people who really just want to go solo, go independent. Now, you and I have an interesting history going back many years. I started at Success in 2012, and I was actually hired to replace you. You had left, and you were starting by that point. You were really getting ready to go solo full time, right?
I was, yes, yeah, absolutely. I had actually started as a freelance writer back in 2005 and did that for about 3 years, just kind of bootstrapping my way through the freelance writerly world. And then had the opportunity to take the position at Success Magazine in 2008 and was there until 2012, right before you arrived. And I learned so much of Success and was so inspired by all the entrepreneurs and small business owners and experts that I got to talk to that it relit that fire to get back out on my own. And so while I was there, I just really, I don't know, metaphorically just sat at the feet of a lot of masters, which was a really great opportunity for me. So in 2012, I relaunched my business with a totally new business plan and a lot more knowledge about how to run a business and personal development in general. And ever since then, I've been on my own and running my own business, helping people create content that really supports their business, write books that brand themselves, and turn readers into ideal clients. So it's been a really fun journey. And I love that I am still connected to the Success family. So to be a columnist and to do this with you, Josh, is a joy.
Yeah, you're more than connected to the Success family. You're one of our premier columnists, the side hustler. As you said, that working at Success is really a blessing because, as you experienced when you were full time, and I get to do now, we're in your words, sitting at the feet of some of the masters of personal development. We're following in the footsteps of the likes of W. Clement Stone and Napoleon Hill, people who really wrote these foundational texts for, how to create happiness and health, growth, and purpose in your life. And solopreneurship, side hustling from home is really a modern extension of that. Now, if you're not familiar with Success, the magazine goes back more than 120 years. We were founded in 1897, and of course now this is a modern media company with a vibrant website and social media platforms that you can follow us all over the internet. But as I said just a moment ago, Amy is a big part of that. Amy, with the Side Hustler column, tell us what you write about, and how do you describe what a side hustle is exactly?
Wow. Okay. So I'm going to tackle that first question first. So as the columnist, really a lot of what I write about is the idea of helping people with their side business, or sometimes it's their main business. If they're small business owners, maybe solopreneurs, maybe they're in direct selling, they've started their own independent direct selling operation and they're working from home. So I'm addressing a lot of concerns and questions and trying to offer support for people who are out there really trying to build something great on their own. A side hustle, and I think this can be defined in different ways for different people, but essentially, in my opinion, a side hustle is really a gig that people are taking, a method people are using to take control of their working life. They're really forging their own future by taking control of their time and money through a side hustle.
Yeah, you actually wrote some of the kind of foundational stories for us on this movement way back in 2015, when we found that a third of American adults were involved in solopreneurship. And it was trending in such a way that our research told us that as of 2020, that number would be up to half. And of course, with the developments of this spring, as we sit here recording this, I've got to think that number could be even greater than half, people looking to take kind of control of their economic future. Now, some of the ways that people can get into solopreneurship, side hustling from home, as our namesake on this podcast would suggest, is the gig economy, as you talked about. That could be visiting a website like Favor or the Elancer, things like that. Now, there are also marketplace sort of sites like Etsy or eBay where you can set up a shop. There's traditional entrepreneurship, whatever that may be in your form. And you mentioned direct selling. It's a great way for people to create a micro business with sort of an existing infrastructure that can help them grow. Then there's platform companies like Airbnb or Uber as examples. And of course, like online education, digital courses. We'll talk about that in some of the upcoming episodes. But there's just so many ways that you can get into solopreneurship.
There really are, Josh, and I've been so excited to see just the explosion really of apps that are now available. I mean, you can walk dogs, you can provide mechanical assistance to people, you can organize someone's closet. And right now, if you're not able to go into a home, there are still so many options. You can take surveys online, you can tutor via Skype. I mean, I've said this before, I think that online tutoring is about to skyrocket. Well, all of us parents, trying to educate kids at home with no experience, right? So there are so many ways that you can offer help from a distance. And there are so many apps that will actually make it very easy for you to do that. And they provide the things that you're wondering about, like, well, how will I get paid? And how will I know where to go? And how will I screen my clients and things like that? And there's so many apps that really take care of that for you. This really is an unprecedented time of opportunity in terms of technology and availability of a side hustle. So if you've thought about this, and whether you're forced right now into it, or you're just thinking, okay, now that I can see that maybe my job isn't going to provide the kind of long-term security I thought, whatever it is that's driving you to think about that side hustle, this really is the best time in the history of it, right? In the history of what we call the U economy that we've ever seen.
Yeah, a side hustle can be it's really what you make of it, right? So it can be as small as just a few hours a week driving for Uber or delivering Uber Eats. That's so popular right now as we sit in the middle of this pandemic of having food delivered and hopefully uh, getting and giving big tips to those delivery people. Or it can be as big as the creation of a new product that scales into your main source of income. It's not just for people looking for a few additional bucks here and there. It could be, something that you hope to take over as your main gig in time. So I want to tell you a little story about a guy named Jeff. Do you know where I'm going with this, Amy?
I do, but I won't give it away, I promise.
All right, good. So in 1993, Jeff was living in New York, and he was a pretty successful guy. He worked at an investment firm, and he was pulling down very comfortable salary. And as the future was going to go, should he decide to stay in that investment firm, he was going to be pretty well off. But Jeff had another idea to tinker with something, a little project on the side. And in 1993, he started working on his side business. And in 1994, he left his investment firm and launched that side business, which you may now know as Amazon. They sold books online. What a crazy idea, selling anything on the internet. Who's going to buy anything on the internet, right? So now you know how the rest of the story goes. 26 years later, Amazon is the most valuable company in the world. Jeff Bezos, even after the most expensive divorce in human history, is still the richest person on the planet. Amazon's worth, I saw this week, over $1.1 trillion. So that's what a side hustle can be. Now, not everybody is going to have that much luck and success, but we all, we probably don't need to shoot that high to consider our side hustle a success, do we?
No, we don't, fortunately, right? And like you said before, yes, it has that potential to turn into something that's your full-time gig, but it doesn't have to be. Really, if you're looking for a little extra cash, you're looking to save for vacation. I know a lot of people are doing that. If you're looking to, maybe fund some educational opportunities for your kids, or you've got your heart set on that purchase or that experience, or maybe it's just that you really feel strongly, especially right now, about padding your savings, really getting that emergency fund underneath you. Maybe it's a retirement fund or an educational fund you want to start. A side hustle is great for all those things. It can be anywhere, like Josh said, from a few hours, which means you could be earning, let's say, $100 a week. I mean, think about at the end of the year what it would be like if you had an extra $5,200 just from a couple hours a week where you earn $100. It may not seem like much in the moment, but it really adds up. And I think that a lot of people are getting into this because they feel like that little bit over time is worth it. And some of them then are finding, oh my gosh, you know what, this is really my passion, and they want to turn that into something full time.
That's the thing that is what really makes this special and makes it different from the old days, where if you want a little extra money, well, you would just take out a second job and you would sacrifice some more of your time for a set amount of income. This is different than that. In fact, it's really meant to give you more control. Pursuing a passion project is really what differentiates this and makes it more along the lines of entrepreneurship. And it does have the potential to scale into true entrepreneurship instead of just, like I said, sacrificing more hours for a set amount of pay.
Mm-hmm. It really does. And I think that control piece is really big. I think that one of the scariest things that people may be experiencing now, but also I mean, we've all known someone who's been laid off, whether it's during a pandemic or a recession or whatever that time period may be. And once you're confronted with that experience, you realize, okay, wait a minute, I've got to have some more control here over how I'm paying the bills, how I'm feeding my family. And that control over your money is important. But like you said, we used to have to trade so much time for that. I mean, you'd have to get a second job, at a drive-through or something, or you'd have to, if you're a kid, you had to get a paper route, right? This side hustle thing, really, a lot of times you can spend a little bit of time here and there, and it doesn't have to be in a big block. For example, if you're deciding to take on a few deliveries, maybe you're going to deliver for Instacart. And so you take on a few deliveries here and there, and that doesn't have to be a giant 4-hour block of time, which may be not doable for you if you're taking care of young ones at home, or you've got another job that takes up much of your time and you don't want to spend all your time on that. So control over your time, control over your money, these are things that we've all been wanting for a long time. And the opportunities in the side hustles are really there now for you to craft something that gives you what you need in terms of time and money, and also is something you probably enjoy and you can pursue your interest.
You know what? I think one of the things that a lot of people that will listen to this podcast are going to identify with is that they're spending time now, as we record this, on a sort of unprecedented quarantine, right? So our show is called Hustle from Home. We're talking about side hustles, yes, but we're also talking about working from home. Amy, you mentioned you've got a kiddo there. What's that like, trying to balance being a full-time mom and a teacher and also an entrepreneur at the same time?
Well, I mean, right now, Josh, I think I'm among millions of people who would say it's tough, right? It's really tough. There's no sugarcoating that. Under normal circumstances, balancing, whether you're a dad or a mom, balancing your time with your family and your time with your business or your side hustle is challenging. We all feel pulled in different directions. But I think that the main thing that I have found for me personally is that if I'm giving what I feel is my best during certain segments of time, then that's the goal. Balance isn't about, well, let me give equal time to this and equal time to that. It's about, where are my priorities and am I prioritizing correctly for that day? And I think that if I'm giving my full attention to my son when I'm with him, for example, and we're playing a game and I'm really there and I'm really focused and I'm not constantly checking the phone messages or popping over the email or whatever, I'm really present. And then when I can sit down and work, I'm fully present there. My son is engaged, and right now it may be on a Zoom call for his schoolwork, right? Whatever he's engaged in. If I'm fully in, that to me is balance.
Yeah, I think, who knows, as we record over the coming weeks, but people may get a look at just how authentic the Hustle from Home podcast is when you maybe get interrupted with a homework question, and you might hear a crying baby or a barking dog in the background from
Right, or as you're seeing me pull my Bluetooth headphones out of my hair. Yep.
Yeah, this is the real deal. I've got a newborn
Right.
here. My wife just started back after her maternity leave came to an end. Today, as we record, is in fact the first day of her going back to work here at home. So we're learning this right alongside you. And as we go, we're going to be fighting through some of these common themes that, from our polling of our readers at Success, are the things that a lot of you are dealing with, whether it's from working from home or taking a look at potentially becoming a solopreneur. And that's sort of overcoming fear and self-doubt, maybe having some consternation and confusion about the technology that you might need to work with, managing your time and juggling, as Amy and I said, all those things that pull at your priorities, learning some of the basics of business and marketing and a lot of other things. We're going to be covering all that in the coming weeks, and we're going to have some of the best in the business, some great guests to help talk us and you through it as we go.
We really are, and I'm super excited actually to introduce people to our guests if they have not been exposed to them before. Our first guest actually, oops, sorry, let me say that again. I forgot to silence my phone. Our first guest is someone that I know is really familiar to the Success folks and also to me. I've worked with her before, Janine Blackwell, who's a fantastic mentor and guide if you're looking to get into the online course world or start something where you're transitioning maybe your in-person service or brick and mortar service or your expertise into an online business. She really is, in my experience, the go-to person. She's got so much experience there. She works with Fortune 500 companies. She's been featured in major publications around the world. She's a best-selling author. That's going to be a fantastic conversation you don't want to miss.
Yeah, I think a lot of people sort of have that dream of becoming businesses in and of themselves, solopreneurs, but they don't know where to go. They don't know what they have to give to the market. And so she helps people understand who they are, what they bring to the table, or take an idea that they have, but they don't know what to do with it, and actually turn it into a profitable online course or online business. So we've worked with her on a number of projects. You have, as you said, Amy. Janine is going to join us and share some simple kind of mindset tricks that will help you overcome those obstacles that are keeping you from moving forward.
Yes, and I think that that's one of the biggest things, and it's why we're starting with this topic in our next episode, because oftentimes you may have an idea for something, but your fear or your self-doubt or just questions you have hold you back from starting. And so she's got some great ways, some great tips to help you overcome those things and get going and figure out if it's right for you.
Another big topic that we're going to definitely cover is productivity, getting a lot done. We're going to be busy. If you're side hustling, you're going to have a day job and you're going to have your side hustle. Plus, you're going to have your family. Maybe one day you'll even have a social life again once the COVID-19 pandemic passes. And we'll be talking to Emily Ley about that. She's the creator and CEO of Simplified. Their cornerstone product is the Simplified Planner. She's designed exclusive collections of productivity tools for Target and Office Depot and Staples. She's just done a lot of really impressive stuff and can help us get the most out of our limited time that we all have.
She will. And what I love about Emily too is, well, first of all, if you're a planner fan, you're going to love to hear from her and kind of the evolution of her business. But I love that she really took something that for her was a passion, and it's a great example of, I mean, who would have thought you could make a whole business around a planner, right?
Right.
I mean, we're all kind of used to that now, but ask me a decade ago, and I don't think that I would have said that sounds like a viable business. So it's amazing what you can do when you really take your passion and then learn from others. And she's got some wonderful tips about balancing, as we were talking about just a minute ago, balancing that family and work life. So we're excited to talk with her too.
Yeah, just like you and me, she's also a parent. She does all of this from home, in addition to being a best-selling author. And so she's going to join us and share some of the lessons that she learned kind of on her journey to success, and also some of the best time management and productivity practices that she uses to balance it all for herself. Who else, Amy?
Well, Brandon White. And this one I think is going to be really great for those of you who like the tactical approach as well. We're going to be talking to Brandon. He's a serial entrepreneur now. He really has mastered the passive income game. So if you are interested in creating something that has that kind of evergreen nature to it, in other words, it stays up online, it helps you earn some money. Maybe at first it's a little bit, and then over time as you build it, it grows into a significant passive income. I mean, talk about freedom generator right there, not just an income generator. If you've got that passive income coming in, you have the freedom to spend that time with your family, go on those trips, and learn those new skills, maybe even start a whole other side hustle. So Brandon's going to come in and talk to us about his background. Now, he has a background both in business and psychology. So like I said, he's got some good tactical, I think, approaches to what do you need to pay attention to and how do you build something that really attracts the right clients and the right customers.
Yeah, passive income for so many people is really the dream of entrepreneurship. Mailbox money, right? Not having to lift a finger. Money for nothing and chicks for free, as the song once said 35 years ago or something now.
Right.
Um, that's, um, as we talk about its success, that's why we're such big fans of entrepreneurship, is because of the freedom that it can provide for people pursuing their passions and really living that life of purpose and spending time with their families, their loved ones, their friends, to increase their happiness and just creating a life that they want that reaches their definitions of success. Lastly, Amy, we're going to be visiting, this is pretty cool, with Chris Gilbeau.
I know, I'm so excited about this one, Josh. I mean, I'm excited about all our guests, but this guy is someone I've admired for a long time. He runs a fantastic conference when we can all go to conferences again. And his book is actually called Side Hustle. So what a perfect guest for us, right? He really shows people in a very practical and accessible way how to take your business from pretty much start to customers. And really, like, his concept is 27 days, so less than a month really is what he's talking about. And if you want to go that quickly, you can. He's got some wonderful tips on that, but he also just really has a great perspective, in my experience, on how to differentiate yourself, how to stand out, and what that means in today's online world. And it's really important to get the perspective of someone who's out there, he's got so many connections in this world, and he really does see what's the online culture today. And he's going to give us some insight into that too, I think. It's really going to be an exciting conversation with him.
The thing that you said there that rings so true and should ring true for our listeners is sort of, how do you stand out? Now, the thing about solopreneurship, the U economy, as we've called it, that is so special and interesting and exciting, is that there is, I think I'll steal your turn of phrase on this, there's a piece of it that is shaped just like you. There is no one who has your exact experience and skill set and interests and talents and work ethic in the entire world. You, listener, are an original. And so there is a way to create an economic future for yourself right now. And we'll talk to Chris Gilbeau about how to sort of open up the box and get going in as little as 27 days. How you can go from sort of idea to customer just like that. So we've got some pretty cool stuff coming up, Amy, along with a bonus episode on how to deal with the dreaded technology fears that a lot of people have.
Yeah, I was going to say, please don't forget that, because I think that's so big. And I know for me, when I relaunched my business in 2012, I was excited. I knew the people I wanted aboard. I had a team in mind and all that. But some of the technology kind of tripped me up, and I needed some help with that. So I will say today I feel a lot more comfortable with it, and it's totally doable. Whether you've done online stuff before or not, it really is doable. Again, this goes back to the apps and things that are available. There's so many things that make it simple for you. But the other piece of that is really getting clear on what are the basics you need. And you don't have to spend a lot of money here. We're not talking about investing in some massive software package or something like that. It's not like that anymore. There are a lot of services you can get for free. So we're going to really kind of pick the brains of our experts a bit and get their take on things. And we've got an exciting bonus episode planned for you on the tech side. So we're going to help you overcome that fear and get you going quick.
Yeah, the thing to remember as we start to wind down this introductory episode, the thing to remember is that the barrier to entry for all this right now is super low. The internet has made all of this accessible to basically everybody, especially in the developed world here. We all have a chance to kind of play in this arena. And if you have that sort of itch to take control of your future, to have some independence, or maybe just pursue a passion project that you can grow into a little bit of side income for yourself. It can be as small or as big as you want, and you can start really easily. It's all right there for you You just have to decide that you want to take the steps necessary, put in the work. We're going to teach you guys how to do that in the coming weeks.
Yeah, we really are. And I think the biggest thing I want to add to that, Josh, I think that was really well said. I just want to say that I encourage you as the listener to not overthink it right now. If you've got an idea, if you're getting excited about something, if you've had a thought, just stick with us. Come back, listen to the next episode, the one after that. We're going to walk you through the steps. We're here for you. We'd love to hear from you. And there's someone who knows how to do what you want to do. You're not in it alone.
That's right. Now, you're not going to want to miss an episode. Visit success.com/side hustle. You can stay up to date on the releases of this podcast and also download the free Side Hustle Handbook. It can help you out as we go along from week to week. Some really exciting stuff coming up. Amy, I'm super pumped to have you along for the ride.
Me too, Josh. I'm really excited.
All right. Well, you get back to Max. I'll get back to Eleanor and the dogs, and we'll be hustling from home until next time, okay?
See y'all next time.